Hey, Todd Burrier from toddburrier.com, and today we're going to talk about leading by example. Now, there's a lot of talk about leading by example, right? That's kind of jargon. Lead by example. Make sure you're leading by example. But what does that really mean? Right? What actually does that mean, and how does that apply to you? I've been teaching leadership for almost 3 decades. I've been doing it for almost 3 decades as well. And I've been mentored in it for a long time as well. I've taught everything from major corporations to university-style trainings for companies and for network marketing companies, in addition to coaching executives, as well as the work that I do in the teams that I built over the years. And so it's a near and dear topic for me. I love the topic of leadership, and lead by example is a big deal. But what does it really mean? I read this many moons ago. Example is the best sermon. Example is the best sermon. It's not really about what you say. As a matter of fact, the old adage is, who you are speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you say. Right? That is such a true thing, because in leadership, you are under a microscope. And maybe you're saying, Todd, I'm pretty new. I don't really have a team yet, or I'm not really in a leadership position. Look, you're leading somebody. And if you're spending time reading my blogs or watching my videos, then you're working towards being a leader. So you automatically need to be thinking leadership, because you are leading people. You are in a process of developing your leadership, because anyone can. Leadership is not reserved for someone with a certain DNA or a certain birthright or a certain title or a certain education. None of that stuff matters. It's really about what you do with the raw material you have and what kind of human being you are, and are you demonstrating the right things. And so you have to understand that people will follow the people they believe in, and they don't care, right, what your resume says. That doesn't matter to people. What matters is, are you someone worthy of following? Are you a person they can believe in? Because that's what will do it, right? And that comes down to some of the concepts I classically talk about, your credibility and your character and their trust in you. But for this case, we're talking specifically about leading by example. So you have to understand that you're under a microscope in leadership. Your teams are watching you. The people around you are watching you, right? If you're trying to do anything in life, people are watching you, and they're looking for the holes in your congruence, right? Are you doing what you say you're doing, or are you just telling me to do it, right? That's kind of where it is. I remember reading in a Jim Rohn book, he said, lead the way in personal example and personal philosophy. And so personal philosophy, mine is be kind, be honest, be respectful, and, treat people the right way and demonstrate caring and be diligent in your work. Those things are my philosophies, right? Serve others as a means to help yourself. And so I live and breathe those things. And so you'll see those in action if you spend time in my space. And so I lead from that platform. But then it comes down to, what are the actions, right? What are these things that you would want your people doing, right? So if you think about it in this case, leading by example, well, if that's what it actually is, and it actually is that, what do you want your people to be doing, right? What do you want the people you're leading in your business, what do you want them to be doing? And the first thing that comes to mind is, I want them to be working their butts off. I want them to work their face off, right? I get that, but you might step back and consider that for a second. Is that really what you want for them? And before you answer that, think to yourself, what do you care most about? What happens in the next 60 days, or what happens in the next 50 years? You see, long-term and short-term has a lot to do with how you handle things. I mean, I've had periods in my career where I once had a period where I worked literally 15 to 16 hours a day for 80 days, except for half a day a week off. 80 days. Could I have maintained that? No, it would have killed me, right? It would have killed me. It was a short burst. So I wouldn't want anybody to be doing that for the long haul. If they want to do it for a short burst, great. I've had several of those kind of bursts in my career. I've been doing a burst like that this year as I build my training platform, right? So it's good to have that. But in general, right, what are the things you want people to be doing every day? And before you answer, remember these 3 things, right? You have health, you have relationships, and you have their business or the money, right? You cannot forget that the ideal way to live is that comes first, that comes second, and then that flourishes long run. You see, if you have an army of people who live like this, trust me, this for you will take care of itself in the biggest way possible, because it will be taking care of itself for those people. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm giving you a little bit of perspective to consider. So as you consider what would you want your people to be doing, think about, what are you doing? What are you doing? In other words, step up to the mirror and take a look. What are you doing? Would you want your team to be doing what you're doing? That's an important thing to understand, because you don't have any right to expect it of someone else if you're not doing or you haven't done it, right? That's just a fact. In my career, I've learned how to do everything in the business, everything, even the things that were ridiculously uncomfortable for me, I learned how to do. Why? How could I authentically lead somebody in a space that I had never done before, right? So think about it in the kind of that global context. Yeah, should they be making contacts every day? Absolutely. Which means, what about you, right? Should they be taking care of themselves? Yeah. Should they be doing some training and personal development every day? Yeah. Right? Should they be working the process and following up? Yeah. Should they be using the products and the services of the company? Yeah. Right? Those things. I'm not telling you what yours should be. I'm just giving you things to think about. But whatever it is, the first litmus test is to look in the mirror and say, am I doing those things? Because only then can you be authentically leading by example. So I hope that this was a little bit helpful. If you want some more leadership nuggets, head to toddburrier.com and check out the book Leading with Heart. That is got all kinds of great stuff in it for truly developing yourself as a leader. It will help you in any industry. Literally, it wouldn't matter what you were leading. If you followed the principles in that book, it would help you lead it. But ideal for network marketing. If you haven't gotten the 27 scripts that really help you consistently sponsor, make sure you put in your email and you get that free download by audio, and then you can listen to it whenever you want. And feel free to share this video. Hope this was helpful. See you next time.